sit down.
What is going on, dads, and welcome to episode 75 of the Dads with the Dark Show, recorded on Sunday, December 12th, 2021. We're your hosts, Drew and John, and thank you as always for joining us tonight for some Nintendo and our Games of the Year. Woohoo! Last episode of the year, maybe we'll throw a little bit of twits in there for you. But John, last time me and you chatted, we weren't doing so healthy, I guess you could say. Let's give the 30-second update. How you feeling, bud?
I feel a lot better. I went to the doctor that day, and I never really got an answer about what was going on. I thought I had those kidney stones, and but no, every day I got better. I'm at 100% now. Never passed anything that I noticed. Actually, got kind of mad at my doctor.
Yeah.
Because they never really gave me an answer. I heard back from him twice, and it was both about my physical. And he said, you're looking good. And it's like, okay, but what happened before?
Yeah.
So, I don't know, but I feel good. Hopefully it doesn't come back. How about you?
Yeah, family's healthy. COVID is out of the house. I'm back in my bed. I'm back to having sets. I mean, I'm fantastic. It's, the air mattress is packed away in the closet. Christmas is upon us. My dad came over today, gave the presents to the kids. And, yeah, I'm doing well. It was a good weekend. First weekend with no hockey.
No hockey since September. So it was nice. It was relaxing. I had my wife's work's Christmas party last night, which means free booze. I'm always down for free booze and some good food. You know what I tried last night? I tried Squid Ink. Squid, what, ink?
Ink.
Oh, Squid Ink. For some reason, I think I'm like incorporated.
No, Squid Ink. Like
Squid Ink.
It was black. Yeah. It goes with calamari. I've done calamari plenty of times, but I've never had Squid Ink. And it was this very unique, it's almost like a paste. And it was a little salty, actually more salty than sour, but it had a nice compliment. I'm not going to lie. It wasn't bad. The wife did not like it. I made her try it. But I stayed out till like midnight, John, way past my bedtime. And
you wrote me last night. You said you were still up, and I responded, and then I never heard back from you.
Yeah, I probably passed out when I got home from being tired and too many drinks.
Well, good for you. It's nice to see you stay up late. A little crazy, like in your younger days.
Yeah, hey, I'm still young, John.
Well, not for long.
Not for long.
Drew, did you watch the Game Awards at all?
I did, because I was still in the toy room on the air mattress. So I did watch a good chunk. Maybe I don't want to say a good chunk. I probably watched like an hour and a half of it. And I enjoyed the rapid fireness of it. I don't think I've ever watched it before. It was very rapid fire, right? Mm-hmm. Game trailer, announcement. It was rapid fire, which I liked.
There's no real commercials.
Yeah. I did like that. I was very, again, I'm not, in the lingo of the other video game world with all the other games coming out. So I didn't know if a lot of them, besides them saying world premiere or not, if it was more of just, people knew about these games or they were rumored. Or, I don't know. Some of them looked great. Some of them looked good. All the games visually looked fantastic because they're not on Nintendo. But it was okay. I don't know. It was fine.
You have an optimistic tone that I haven't really seen. I don't know if it's because I've watched the last few. Mm-hmm. This one ran really long, and I did some like coverage with Nintendo Dads doing live react. I was there for the pre-show, and then I joined up like I think the middle of it or so. Gosh, they really overkill that world premiere, and it's kind of a meme with them.
Yeah, like
people make fun of the fact world premiere or whatever. World premiere. When I think of world premiere, I think this is the first time we're seeing this game.
Correct.
Their concept is it's the first time this particular trailer is playing, even if there's a lot of scenes you've seen already.
So I'm the sucker there, and that was my point. Is some of these games that looked these big, fantastic open world games, whatever. I'm like, oh, is this the first trailer? To me, like if they did a world premiere of Breath of the Wild, I'd be like, wow, like that's the first time we've ever seen gameplay or trailer. You're saying that wasn't true for this case,
right? Like if they showed a Breath of the Wild 2 trailer, would you expect them to say world premiere, or would you think that's weird?
I could care less, but I think it would be a world premiere. It's the first time we're seeing a real trailer for it.
Yeah, but it's like it's for a game that we've, seen like 2 different trailers for.
So you would expect like a world premiere to be Mario Odyssey 2. That would be a world, like they announced it.
Yeah, and like cable news, like it's always fun. They always say breaking news, breaking, and it's like this isn't breaking news. Like this news is 3 hours old now.
So at what point,
I think they overdo it.
I know what you're saying. So at what point is it overdone?
It's already overdone. And their show lasts 4 hours. So it's this constant barrage of world premiere. And so you start to not pay attention. The world premiere doesn't work anymore. World premiere, it's just another trailer. Like, what am I need to do? Stay in the room or not? So they kind of overdo it. They need to throttle back the world premiere. I love that every commercial is a trailer. There's never a point in the show, except maybe sometimes when they're interviewing somebody for some game you didn't care about. That's sort of this dead period. And I don't even care that sometimes they give the awards out to willy-nilly or whatever. I'm there for the trailers anyway. But still, man, like 4 hours is too long. They need to cut down the time. And there are way too many trailers for mediocre shit. The same looter, shooter,
but let me
over again.
Let me put it this way, because I haven't watched this a lot. Right, this is kind of like the first time I really watched it. If you compare it to anything like the Oscars or the Emmys or things like that, right? Because essentially this is all we have from a video game point of view, so you have to compare it to something. I love the Oscars, but the Oscars are super boring because of the super long, inception speeches, the big gaps of nothingness. They always try to add something to the announcers and stuff. This I just felt, again, from a gaming point of view, was rapid fire. Whether I was interested or not, it was rapid fire, which I liked. Right.
Yeah.
I thought, that keeps you on your toes.
If the Oscars were nothing but awards and movie trailers, they'd actually be much more fun, especially if you're really into movies.
Yeah.
But generally, you'll get real commercials and
long speeches, and they try to put a comedy bit in there or something. Yeah, no, I hear you.
Any trailers? I had a few trailers that stuck out to me. Let me go through some of the moments that stuck out to me, because I know I watched more than you. That's not something to my credit. I wish I didn't.
Well, I think it
is. So the first trailer we actually got was for Tunic, which is a game we've seen before. World premiere. It's a game we've literally played the demo for before. It's a really charming Zelda-like. It actually, seeing it again, because I think I played it way earlier in the year. It really reminds me of Death's Door, oddly enough. It has sort of a very polished, very cutesy art style. They showed more stuff in it. World premiere. Yeah. The map is really adorable. It just looks like it's one of those games you just want to play. It's like a Zelda.
Now, is this coming to Switch?
I don't know if it is. I don't think it is. It doesn't say so yet. And it's like one guy.
Okay.
And it's been taking quite a while to come out. It's slow, but we did get a date. It's coming out in March. So that's the first time we did get a date. So I was really excited for that one. And then right after that, they gave out their first award, and Life is Strange True Colors got it. I was very excited for it, for Best Impact. Other than that, we saw Metroid Dread win Best Action Adventure, which was cool. The trailer for Cuphead really sticks out to me. When I think back to the show, I think of two things. I think of the trailer for Cuphead and the footage of Hellblade 2. And that's only probably because I'm really interested in Hellblade 2. But the Cuphead trailer was so well crafted and was so different from everything else there. Everything else was shooter. And then they said it's coming out June 30th.
I know.
My God. Drew, this game came out in 2017, and they're going to put out the DLC in 2022.
Why not just put out a new game at this point?
Yeah, right?
So let me ask you an honest question here. And this might be a dumb question if I didn't know the answer. You're going to have to own the original game in order to buy the DLC?
Yeah, the DLC is free.
Oh, it is free?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I thought with the whole delay, we thought this DLC was supposed to come out in 2019.
Yeah.
I thought with the delay that they were just going to make a sequel.
That would have been the better option.
Yeah.
Charge some money for it.
And they're not. It's just crazy. And I still can't believe that we got a date, but it's 6.5 months from now. It's very frustrating. And I'm like, everybody's sort of out of the game. Like,
yeah, I have not even really an interest in going back.
Yeah. I'm gonna play it, but I'm gonna just go through the whole game again.
F that.
I don't know what other way to do it.
That game was hard.
I know. I just got to go through the whole game again. It looks great, but my gosh, it's so long. And we had a topic about this some time ago about how long should DLC exist. We still see Dead Cells putting DLC out. But this is this is going to be a 5-year gap between the game and any other content. 5 years. That's crazy to me. We honestly didn't get a lot of big announcements. I'm sure some people interpret some as big. I think the biggest surprise might have been like we're getting like a big AAA Wonder Woman game. So that's cool, I guess. But we didn't. It was basically the teasiest of teasers, so we don't know anything. And then the thing that cheesed me off enough to write it on my Twitter a couple times that night, that Kena Bridge of Spirits won both of the indie awards. It won Indie Game of the Year and Best New Indie. And everything I have heard about this, ask Bob Cousy. Kena Bridge of Spirits. We're supposed to play tennis. That it's a pretty looking game done by a studio that has done really nice animation work, but the game is just very thin. It's kind of bland. There's not a lot of variety in the battling and all that stuff. And it won both indie awards, beating out Loop Hero, which is a game that we might talk about next week. And what's the other one? Oh, and Death's Door. And 12 minutes. It beat out, and I won't say 12 minutes, got a better, review score, but Death's Door and Loop Hero sure did. And I thought that was really bad that Kena took both those indies. And then the big shock, of course, was It Takes Two won Game of the Year. Not to take that away from them, just shocking. We were talking about Metroid Dread, maybe losing to Deathloop. Or maybe Resident Evil or something like that, and the little game won it. So I was excited for that, but quite the shock.
Yeah, I don't really have any other comments, to be honest, but it is what it is.
I will add,
I watched it.
Hellblade 2 looked really good. I think they showed about like 6 or 7 minutes of footage, which of course kind of I think was a time for Jeff Keighley to take a break. But I can't wait for that game. But like so many of the games really, some of these trailers could pack some real oomph if they were in the middle of like some detergent commercials and maybe a supermarket. But when they're all back to back to back, like, my gosh, like Back for Blood and then this game and this game, they all start to look the same. Just, oh God, it was too long. They really need to cut down that show. So hopefully they do that by next year.
They won't.
I don't know.
Every minute they're on Twitch, whatever, they're making money.
They must have made some good money at my expense.
They're obviously making enough money not to sell out to like a network,
I can totally see it happening where that show ends up on like a network someday.
Yeah. Well, it depends if Twitch is paying them enough money not to, or YouTube and all that other crap they're on.
I don't know.
Anyways.
All right. Should we do a little update on Monthly Mayhem?
Yeah, what's going on with Monthly Mayhem?
We have 1 week left in Monthly Mayhem. It's going to end Sunday, December 19th. Once again, we have the Mario Tennis Tournament, which we are in round 4 on. And so we're going to have round 4, round 5, and then a couple rounds of playoffs. And then we also have the Gunstar Heroes competition. So you can, we don't have to go over all the rules,
that yet?
but I want to. I have to. I have to this week. I just haven't done it.
You have to.
There's been so much going on. But check the rules on the Monthly Mayhem channel. And, play some Gunstar Heroes. Get on the board. I think we only had only one person or one or two people have played Gunstar Heroes so far.
I think just me and Jesse?
Yeah, I think Jesse did play it too. I'm going to play it this week. I'll throw my Genesis controller on the charger.
I expect it.
So get your scores in by noon Eastern time on Sunday, December 19th. And then the last one, Jesse asked me to remind everybody, Nintendo dads are putting together their Game of the Year lists. So they want your list. So send them your top 10 Game of the Year list. That's games in 2021. You can email them to keep them secret. We don't want everyone to know. NintendoDads@gmail.com. And Jesse's going to kind of do some mathematical wizardry and get their official Game of the Year mentioned on this Thursday's episode. Oop. So make your voice heard. In fact, I'm going to send mine in.
I know. I guess we should just send ours in since we're going to have it.
I told him I'm going to send ours in on Tuesday after our episode goes out.
That's fair. Yeah, we want to maybe we should just tell Jesse to listen to the show to get it.
Well, we are going to be talking about our games of the year soon.
We will.
Yeah, I'm excited. I love this time of year. But yeah, so what do you say we talk about what we've been playing?
Let's do it.
And we've been playing Loop Hero. That's the end.
Loop Hero.
We are not going to talk about it. We're going to have a betwixt about this one. Drew, how much have we been loving this game?
It's like it's very addicting. It's one of the most addicting games I've played in a long time. It's fun. I'm just gonna leave it at that. It's fun, and you know what it is? It's very unique. I think that's what makes you want to keep coming back.
Yeah, every run will get you something.
Yep.
And yeah, it's really good. Aside from Loop Hero, I've had a pretty thin week. I think I mentioned that I finished up Red Dead Redemption. I've actually considered trying the online. I've heard the online's not really that great. And
John, what do you do to yourself?
I own it.
Why do you do this?
I own it. I paid $30 for the Ultimate Edition.
$30. You played it for like 80 hours. Be happy and move on.
I did play it for a lot of time. So I finished up that one. I played a game called The Artful Escape on Game Pass on Xbox. And I actually put a 30-second review out for this one. So you can take a look at our YouTube channel, 30-second reviews, with the Dads After Dark show. It was... I watched it. Good review. I love these small games, and especially because it looked like it had some heart to it. And so I played it. I had a few games on my list that I wanted to play in Game Pass, but I did this one first because I had heard it's only a few hours long. Gotta say, I didn't really enjoy it. It's one of the prettiest games I've ever seen. There just wasn't a lot of gameplay to it. You run to the left, you run to the right, you press A to talk to somebody. There's no collectibles. There's no items of any kind that you pick up. And then there's like these musical sequences where it's not a rhythm game. It's not like Sayonara Wild Hearts or DDR or some other rhythm game. You don't have to be in sync with anything. It's more of like playing Simon, you know, that old game Simon.
The colors,
lights up the colors. Yeah, and there's no structure to it. Even the control scheme's kind of broken. Like you want to go, like it might say, press ZL, then press ZR, then press B. So you kind of want to press ZL, and then while you're holding that, you kind of press ZR. But if you're still holding down ZL in any way, it won't let you press ZR. So it just has this like lack of rhythm where you have to press a button, let it go, press another button, let it go. It doesn't feel very natural. It has a good story, but I was so annoyed by the lack of gameplay that I never connected with the story as much as I wanted to. Because I think games that have good gameplay that go with a good story really pull you in even more because you're enjoying yourself playing the game. But I was just cynical and angry that I just was not having a fun time with what could have been a rhythm game or a platform game because it has those elements.
Yep.
It just doesn't do them well at all. So I didn't really give it a great review, but I said as a visual novel, it was actually a pretty decent game. But it doesn't purport itself to be one. So that's The Artful Escape. And then I have been playing, Drew, have you been playing Advent 2021?
Not quite sure what that means, John.
No? You haven't been playing this?
Like an Advent calendar?
Friend of mine sent me a link at the beginning of the month. There is an Advent programming calendar. And every day from December 1st to December 25th, there is a new programming challenge. And they give you a problem. It's a pretty long description of a problem. And they give you an input file that usually has quite a lot of data. And you have to solve the problem. And what's fun about it is you have to write a program to solve the problem. With some of these things, sometimes you have to write the problem right in like the website. I don't know. But you actually don't. You can use whatever language you want. You can do it however you want to do it. And then you have to get the answer using a program because you really can't do this by hand. They give you so much data. You really can't. And then you just give them the answer and they'll tell you if you're right or wrong. They'll tell you if you're too high or too low. And then there's a second part. If you get it right, there's a second part, which is usually like a tweak to your program, sometimes exposing inefficiencies or things like that. I've been doing this daily, religiously, since December 2nd. And I've been having a whale of a time. In fact, every night.
Sounds like a fucking job.
It really is. And sometimes a couple days ago, it took me like 3 hours.
Oh my God, John. What are you doing with your life?
I was walking around the house thinking about the problem, and then I'd spend some time coding. There's like sometimes you have to do recursion. And I was up pretty late last night trying to do it. I couldn't figure it out. I woke up this morning and figured it out. I was running my program 20 minutes because it was doing some recursive thing. It was taking forever. And I'm like, I think this is right. I just think it's really crunching this data because it was like a pathfinding problem. And I decided to compile the code and run it to see if it would go faster. And it ran in like a second.
Better man than I am, John. That's dedication.
I've had a lot of fun. So they unlock at 10 p.m. my time every night. So sometimes at 10 o'clock, I break out my laptop and I start working on it.
10 p.m.? I mean, so you kind of do like the one the next day almost?
Yeah, it's supposed to be like at midnight Eastern time.
Gotcha. So it's for the next day. So you're really,
exactly.
Yeah, I gotcha.
And you can tell how fast you finished it compared to everybody else. There's people that finish it within 15 minutes. I mean, hire them. Like, track these people down. I mean, they figured out the problem today faster than my program took to run. But yeah, no, I've had a lot of fun with that. So I'm looking forward to it for the rest until Christmas. I don't think they're doing one Christmas Day, but really looking forward to it. It's fun.
Wow.
But that's what I've been playing and programming.
3 hours a day. Incredible.
No, it's not 3 hours a day. One day it took 3 hours.
Okay. I've been playing Loop Hero, but no, I've also been playing Monster Hunter. I still have my Monster Hunter. I fell off it a little bit due to some other games, but I'll be back. It's a fun game. I rolled credits, which in Monster Hunter, as you know, means absolutely nothing. But I'm pretty invested. I'm probably close to 30 hours, I want to say. There's just so much to see and do in that game. It's one of those games that'll never end. And I'm gonna keep driving forward for the DLC and stuff. But it's fun. It's a great game. My kids found, I don't know if I mentioned this last show, Lego Incredibles. They found the cartridge.
I keep seeing you jump onto that game like when I play.
No,
like,
it's not
there he goes again.
It's not me. They're playing on their Switch, but I have I think I told you I have both Switches are just my user account. So they always jump on their Switch, but it's under my name. Yeah, they've put in a lot of time into that. They're what they do is they play in the open world. There's like an open world in that game. It's pretty big. It has like the whole city all the way up to like the houses and like to the park, to the forest. It's massive. You can go in the water, under the water, and they like just roaming the open world and doing nothing. So then what happens is like, oh, we want more characters. So then when they go to bed at night, my wife has to play the levels to unlock that. She's like, I'm not fucking doing it.
Why can't they do that?
Because they don't want to. They want to just, I mean, they can. They're capable of playing it. They want to just go free roam and like pick whatever characters they want. There's like 200 characters, John. They have like Pixar characters. So like you could be Sully from Monsters Inc. You could be Wally. Like you could be Dory and then go under the water and do all the underwater missions. The game's pretty massive, but yeah, they've been obsessed with it. But we limit it, like we don't let them play more than like an hour a day because they would just keep playing.
So that's why they have your wife.
Yeah, exactly.
Working
Your
a
wife is the guinea
minimum
pig.
wage job trying to get characters unlocked.
I've been playing more Slay the Spire on my phone. I think I got you a little going, John, because every morning I have my coffee and I play a round of Slay the Spire. That's like my morning routine. I do it in the office. Hopefully nobody's listening. But it's just my routine. I do it. It helps me get ready for the day.
Get your brain going. I have
made it to Ascension 12, which is ridiculous. I have like 60 hours on my mobile device, John. It's crazy. It's fun.
Can I interrupt? I just want to interrupt a second.
Yeah.
Guys, if you don't know this, after we played Dicey Dungeons, I constantly compared it to Slay the Spire. And Drew, in his blissful ignorance, had no idea what I was talking about. And eventually, he needed a game, and I said, you got to play Slay the Spire. And he played it. The guy is a savant. He beat Slay the Spire on his first try.
True.
I mean, you're not beating the whole game, but you're beating it on the initial difficulty. I had to try like 20 times before I beat the game the first time. He did it on the first try, and he goes, I don't understand. Is this like hard or something? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, I beat it. And I was like, well, did you beat it? Or you just got past the first act? And then he shows me and he beat it. And like, since then you were able to get to way higher ascensions. I couldn't even beat the first ascension, and you were like on 6 or 7. You've beaten it with all the characters. And now you pick it up on the phone, and you just, every morning, the guy plays one game and he's like, oh, beat it again. Oh, beat it again. Beat it again. Every morning, not even like miss a day, you know?
Like there was like last week I was on a roll. I think it was like 4 days in a row. I was like, yep, coffee. I would text John every morning, happy Tuesday. And then like hashtag Ascension 7 beaten. And I sent him a screenshot. And then it'd be Wednesday. Happy Wednesday, Ascension 8 beaten.
Right. I just, and you actually got me to play because we were waiting for Loop Hero at the time.
Yep.
And you got me to play. And of course I died on the boss, and it's like, fuck this.
Yeah. Well,
you're so good at it. I can't wait to see you get to 20.
I can't wait either. That's my goal. I'm trying. It's getting really hard. The ascension levels are getting, they take stuff away and make it so much harder for you. Like you can't carry as many potions. You have to have a curse in your hand that you can't remove it.
Right.
It's just getting hard.
Don't they also like when you finish an act, they usually will refill your health.
Oh yeah, so I don't get full health anymore.
Yeah. It's just ridiculous.
It's brutal. It's tough, but it's fun. It's a good challenge, and it's just addicting. But then also I started Friday, Paper Mario, the original for N64, came out on the expansion pass. So that's mine and my wife's one of our favorite games of all time. I think I've told stories before when I used to visit her at her college dorm, and I would bring that. And so we've been playing that. It's a great game to pair with Loop Hero. You know, Loop Hero's on my own playing that, and then when we want to play, we play Paper Mario together. We got the N64 controller, so it feels great. And just what a blast! It's what a fun game. I rewound a part, and I felt dirty doing it. There's a part which I just, Jesse brought it up the other day on the show, similar to when you try to play the gem game, the rupee game in the original Zelda. Right, you enter the door and then you can rewind it. You know which one it is.
Yeah,
it's the same concept. There's a similar game you could do that, and you pretty much get unlimited coins. And I did do it. I felt dirty doing it. But I might try to like 100%, which I've never done. Like collect every badge and go for it all.
I mean, Yeah, like we don't have the time that you do, and if it's available, it's so hard to resist doing it. I don't blame you at all.
It's just coins. It's not like you're cheating. I mean, you're cheating, but you're just giving yourself unlimited coins. That's all you're doing.
Yep.
Doesn't make it easier to beat. It's just you can buy more things. You can buy more badges or more, I guess, items would help you.
Mm-hmm. I don't think I ever played Paper Mario. I might play it someday.
It's a great game. It really is. It's a great game. It's just awesome.
Great game for N64 anyway.
Yeah, and I mean the graphics are fine because it's paper, so you're not getting that polygon type crap. It still holds up.
Yeah. Cool.
That's it.
Awesome. All right, just loop here from now on.
Yeah. But before we get going, John, I Janet has always mentioned Manscaped. You know, if you haven't bought it yet, why not? Join over 2 million men worldwide. You get 20% off and free shipping with the code NINDADS, NINDADS. You know, John and I have obviously used all the products. They're fantastic. It might be a little late to order for Christmas time, but get on the bandwagon if you have not. Most of us have been. And it's a thing of beauty. Makes it easier down there.
It's not a bad gift idea. It's
awkward.
We'll be honest. It could be awkward. It depends on who you are and who your family is. But it's something that all guys need. So I've been using the shampoo and conditioner this week because I ran out of my old stuff, and I was like, oh yeah, I got the shampoo.
I have. That's what I'm waiting for.
It's quite a scent. Like it's like cleaning your hair and almost like a kind of an Axe body spray. Sort of like scent. Very manly. So that's been nice.
If you give it as a gift, don't sell it as like you need it, right? Just act it off as like, you know, hey, this just makes life easier. You know, I use it. You know, you could play it off like, yeah, I use it. You know, it's nothing to be embarrassed about.
It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be, especially for like a friend or whatever. I could see definitely giving this to a friend and go, hey, but I have this issue. Like, so my father-in-law needs a nose and ear trimmer.
Oh boy, that's if you're gonna be like, that could be tough.
I mean, I would never buy my father-in-law a Manscaped package, but
would Michelle buy it for him?
But it would no, she would not. But it would include the nose and ear trimmer in it, and it's almost like I'm trying to give you this nose and ear trimmer,
but it's the whole package I bought. It's just
the whole package. Yeah.
What if you played it off as like, I got this through my podcast, and I just figured it's trying to be, to be something you would like.
Yeah, I have no need for this. Do you need this this ball shaver?
I don't shave my balls. Well, if that's a mistake, sir.
I do love the product though. I mean, I don't even say otherwise. I had the product before we were doing these promos.
It's the same. I can't imagine what I would use. Like, I've tried other things before we bought the lawnmower.
Yeah.
And it's just not the same.
Well, we talked about it, Drew, right here. This is your alternative scissors. Which, now that I look at it, and these are the very scissors, guys.
Oh my God, John.
These are the very scissors.
I can't look at those. That's like looking at a used condom or something. I'm out.
I can't believe that I actually use those.
I can't believe they're sitting at your desk when they cut your ball pubes.
Oh my gosh.
Anyways, let's move on. Let's get out of this. Let's move on to the top 3 this week.
3. It's just 3.
Number 3.
Let's reminisce. Drew,
let's reminisce.
Reminiscing. I love, as we get towards the end of the year, I used to do a blog. Have I ever told you that? I used to do I made a website. It was a blog. It was called Ginger Bobot.
What?
And I named it Ginger Bobot because my daughter was very young at the time. She must have been about 3 or 4, I guess. And that's how she pronounced the words ninja and robot. And so I just put them together and made the site Ginger Bobot. And I would do a blog. I remember doing a story on why Bayonetta 2 was the best game of all time.
Okay.
It was all written, though. And so not the best format. And that format was already like running thin. But I just liked writing. I wanted to write. So I did that for a while. And that site's gone now. It's nowhere to be found. But I used to love doing Game of the Year because I would keep a list of all the games I played that year, and I loved kind of putting them together. But I also love thinking about, just outside of that, because we all do it, other stuff that we've done through the year, gaming wise.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking back, and some of the memories of this year, and some of them that go far back. It's like amazing that was 2021. I was like, wow, it feels like 5 years ago. But I have a lot of memories of this year, and a couple of them are the fact that this was my first year with my Series X.
Cheater.
How can you remember when I got my Xbox One X? I got my One X after the pandemic had started. So I think it was like May or June of 2020.
Mm-hmm.
And then I actually upgraded to the Series X. Yeah. For Christmas, the day after Christmas, I got it in the mail. And it's amazing how much the Series X and Xbox in general has become a regular part of my life, where I generally have one Xbox game and one Switch game at a time.
Cheating.
I'm
teaming
constantly. Yeah, it really is like,
it's like being married and then having a side piece.
It's like having a threesome every day.
No, it's not that good. It's like a side piece where you have to hide it from each other. Threesome is like they both condole it, or I mean, they both allow it.
I think they do. Microsoft and Nintendo get along really well.
Well.
Yeah. But I always have a game going. So I'll say to you, I need a new Xbox game, even though I'm in the middle of playing a Switch game. Generally, I'll play the Switch when I'm upstairs, chilling out at night, or I'll play it like if I'm commuting or something. And then Xbox, I'll take work breaks and play that one. And then I usually play it after dinner. But yeah, I play completely different games. I'm playing Red Dead on an Xbox while I'm going to play Loop Hero on the Switch. But yeah, I've really enjoyed it. I've bought a lot more games. I buy everything digitally. I bought a lot more games than I thought I would, for sure. I didn't think I would ever own a game. I was just going to do Game Pass, but I probably own like a dozen games now. But yeah, I've really enjoyed that through this year. It's indispensable. And I know people are still trying to get it. And I can say, after playing with it for a year now, like, it's as good as advertised. It's such a great, polished little system. It's beyond what I would ever think Microsoft was or represents. Game Pass is I know Fartsy got an Xbox recently, and he just has Game Pass, and there's so much to play there, depending on who you are as a gamer. But yeah, just great. You get an Xbox, comes with a controller, and then just sign up for $10 Game Pass every month, and it's just so much entertainment. It's such a great system. I love the auto continue, and I mean, you can have up to 5 games paused. So like, I can continue a game that I was playing 2 months ago, and it'll remember exactly where it was. Most systems, you can do that for 1 game at a time. But on Xbox, you can do 5. Now, sometimes it doesn't work. Sometimes I'll pause a game for like an hour and I'll come back to it and it's like restarting. So I feel like there's still some issues there, but yeah, I really love it. I've really enjoyed my first full year.
Reminisce about a non-Nintendo item for the last 5 minutes, Sean. That's the first thing you wanted to talk about. I'm going to say this is episode 87 for us overall. 87 episodes we've done, because in the past we didn't always number them. When we did some of the big Twitches and stuff like that and stuff, but 87 episodes. I think we started about 2 years, December-January timeframe is when we did our first episode.
I looked it up today, January 30th, 2020.
January? No, I thought it was before that. Was it?
That's January. That's when 19th. That episode is at.
January 19th.
Well, we recorded a sample.
Well, January 19th was when the first one was posted. Wii U ports. That was that was the first episode?
That was the first episode. I was just listening to it a little bit today.
How'd it sound?
We sound really good because we had done so many Mayhem episodes before it.
That's true.
It's not like we never met before.
Wait, let me see. How long was it?
And we've kept the opening the same music. The only difference was Justin giving that warning.
That's right. It was only 44 minutes, Sean. When's the last time we did a 44-minute episode?
I mean, my God, we're coming up on 44 minutes right now, and we're still on the third item.
That's true. But yeah, it's been a great, fun ride. It's funny with us, and one of the biggest things I love about this podcast, as you guys know, I unfortunately don't do it anymore, but I used to do a Disney podcast. This is just much more of a laid back. I mean, obviously we talked a lot during the week, and I admit you'll do a lot of the heavy hitting during the week, but it's just it's more of we're just here chatting. It's not like we're going off and researching stuff. We're just having fun. If we want to talk about 8 or 10 topics a week, we do. If we want to talk about 3 topics this week, that's what we do. There's no pressure. It's and I think that's what makes it more fun and more enjoyable even to listen to be honest, because it's 2 guys chatting. Sometimes 3.
I can't believe how much show prep you did for Disney Guys. To me, like you guys would write essays.
It was
literal essays.
Well, it's a lot of history, and it's you don't know all of it, and it was tough, but
yeah,
that's why I enjoy this. I think a lot easier. We can show up and we can we put a list together, or we put throughout the 2 weeks we can add an item to the news list or whatever it might be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's kind of the secret behind the magic, right? Is we throughout the week we'll add something. We might have 15 items and we'll delete half of them, or some week we only have 5 and we have to add some or whatever it might be. But it's just kind of throughout the week, if something pops in our mind, we add it in, and it's a nice and easy format.
Yeah, we drop a lot of items that are like, oh, these are like 7 days old. Nobody cares anymore.
Indeed.
Yeah. And then we've been doing the Mayhem. I mean, that's how we started. We actually, it's hard to believe we did videos of Mayhem. I would edit those videos.
We did?
Editing, yeah.
We did.
Yeah, we did Mayhem on camera.
No.
Yes. There's videos on the Nintendo Dads.
In my closet?
Not, yeah, you were in your closet.
I don't remember that.
Oh my God.
Let's talk about Mayhem since we've been here. Mayhem for 2021. Let's do a little recap.
It's getting old.
I am. So we started out, we did 8 monthly Mayhems. That's pretty damn
crazy.
Good.
That is really good.
I'll go through them. So we started out with Donkey Kong. Or was it the high score one that you and Jesse beat the game or broke the game, whatever the hell you call it?
Yeah, we allowed rewind. That was fun.
That was fun.
We got to the kill screen of Donkey Kong.
That's right. Then we went into Mario 3D World with Bowser's Fury. That was fun. That was just collecting the stars, right?
Yeah, I was collecting what were they? Are they stars?
Coins? Stars?
Yeah, there was the Bowser's Fury stars, and then we had this yeah. Oh no, yeah, we had all the stars from 3D World, and then we had them for Bowser's Fury. So we were doing both games. That was fun.
Correct. That was fun. Then we did the NES and Super NES online. I think that was kind of your baby when you did all the weekly challenges for different people.
That was one of the most challenging times in our Mayhem history, because we would have tournament matchups between people, right? Maybe it was like Informant and Chris HL94, but they didn't even know what game they were playing.
Yeah, they had
they would have to get online, say they're ready, and then one of us, like no matter what we were doing, would have to send them their challenge. They were all like preset, but it's just they didn't know what they were until that moment, because we didn't want people to practice for a particular game. And sometimes it'd be a game they've never played before.
They didn't know the controls. It was great.
Yeah, it was so much fun.
And I don't think we missed anybody. I think we always responded within 5 minutes or so.
Yeah, sometimes we were a little late, but like that was so hard to just be ready.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could ever do that again, but I would want to. That was so much fun.
It was. And after that, we had to settle down a little bit, so we went to Metopia. And what was that one? We had to, I think, just collect.
You did that one.
I did do that one.
There's a whole bunch of trophies in the game, right?
That's right, trophies. Yep. And then that took us into the summer, where we played for 3 months. Mario Golf. Mario Golf League was fun. So much fun. I'm not gonna lie, it was a shit ton of work, folks. But it was a blast. I loved it. It was so much fun.
And Drew did all that work.
Well, you did all the work, so it evens out at the end of the day. But it was fun.
And the Nintendo dads were just so grateful. Like they ponied up so much money for that tournament, and so many people won because there were so many different prizes.
It was.
I sucked at golf, and I managed to get a win in the lotto.
Yep. And the great part was, I think we had 30 people sign up, John. It was an unbelievable number. It was. I mean, not everyone ended up finishing it, but we had 30 different people submit a score. That's incredible.
It just hit at the right time. It just hit the right nerve, man. It was fun.
Fun.
And I want to do another one.
Well, when I think we might when Mario 64 comes out. Well, I mean, we could actually do the Switch one now that all these other courses came out.
The Switch one would probably handle networking better. But yeah, we can even mix it up too. We can do both. I mean,
Well, yeah, you have to have both games though. Not everyone might have it.
Well, all those people had Mario Golf, so we're already set. Everyone's already got it.
Yep. And then we moved on to WarioWare, which was a blast. We did the both co-op and solo. That was kind of you were in that one. That was good.
That one started off a little slow, and then it heated up right at the end. People started putting insane scores in that one. That was like, no way. But that was a lot of fun. It's also the last time I think I played WarioWare. That did not.
You know what? That's the beauty of Monthly Mayhem is that it makes you play a game longer than you would have.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I would have never. I mean, I played WarioWare with my wife. We beat the game, but then with that, we like pushed ourselves to keep playing the challenges to get it. So that would never have happened if we didn't have Monthly Mayhem.
Correct. And remember, remember the old days, games were high score games. There was no concept of beating a game, right? You played Pac-Man, Defender, all those games. And high scores were a great motivating factor because if you did not have high scores, it's almost like, what's the point of even playing this game? Who cares, right? But they'll put the high score right on the top of the screen, or you go to some places and they have them written down. And that's what we had there. It was like, maybe I don't want to play this game anymore, but man, we had so much fun just trying to chase the next high score that would pop up.
Agreed. And that's the beauty of it. It's almost like you want people to post it frequently. So you can, I mean, it's nice to hold off because you want to win. Yeah. But I mean, I could have held off multiple times, but that's not fun. You want to share it and then people go back and forth.
Exactly.
And then we moved into our fall contest where we did our Halloween contest, which was great to see a lot of, family photos and people playing Halloween games. And it was just a kind of a mystery mixed bag of goodies, which was a blast. Very different than anything we've ever done before.
I mean, it was literally not game related, although we could have submitted game videos and stuff, but I don't think anybody ever did. That was a nice break because we know, we're asking people sometimes when there's a really big game coming out, we want to be careful because everyone's going to play this game and we don't want to say, okay, you need to play, Downwell.
Correct.
And that was a good time to just let people play what they want to play and we'll come back, And
it was a blast voting on it. I had a lot of fun doing that. What was it?
We did that
live. That was what did we call it?
Oh, the sex wasn't the sex ghost? No.
Is that what we called it? The sex ghost or the?
What did we call that thing?
Oh, we called it something.
It was like a blow up doll, but I don't know. I don't know.
Anyways, and then the most recent one that we're currently in is the Mario Tennis 64 little tournament alongside Gunstar Heroes,
which has been a lot of fun.
Has been a lot of fun.
That has been a whole lot of fun. We're kind of randomizing each round. Kuz and I, we had our game disconnect twice. He was up 1-0, so he was mad that it disconnected in the second game. And then I let him win the first game when we resumed it, so we could just get back to where we were.
I think that's only fair.
And then it died again. And then he went away for the weekend. Was gone.
Hey, remember when that happened in Ice Hockey, John? You know what, Kuzi? I think I'm onto something. Fuck, you're right. This happened in Ice Hockey League. I was beating you for the first time ever, going into the second period, and your internet magically broke.
We were not going into the second period. Give me a break. You maybe had a goal.
Yeah, but Kuz, I'm on your side, buddy. So anyways, John, 8 Mayhems. Mm-hmm. What was your favorite one this year?
Favorite one was the NES, SNES Online. Painful, but fun. So much fun.
I mean, I'd be hard not to say Mario Golf League.
That was a lot of fun.
But I will say the Halloween contest was cool. It was different and got to see a lot of personalized pictures. And the voting was fun because it was just me and you voting. So I will say that was a lot of fun. Maybe we'll have to do that next year at another holiday.
If we did a second golf league, we might have to break it up into divisions. Or some other handicap. Because at this point, it's established that there's a group of 4 or 5 people that are just elite golfers.
That's fair.
Untouchable. So I feel like a lot of people wouldn't be interested because they know where they stand in golf. So we might have to have we might have to look at the results of the first league and come up with some tiers or maybe just some handicap. Like your score, like a golf handicap, right? Like my score, you would like subtract 5 points from or something like that.
Yeah.
But we could establish some handicaps from the first.
If we played the same game, if we went with Mario 64, we could establish handicaps through the main lead, and then in the playoffs maybe apply them.
Yeah, because some games are easier than others.
Correct. Yeah. I'm not against that idea. I like that idea.
Yeah.
Except you tell people that, and then they might sandbag, John. They might throw some of their scores.
Yeah, maybe. There's no perfect way, but
well, you know what?
Yeah.
I can figure it out. I know enough about
figure it out. You know it.
What else? Anything else from 2021?
No, I have some memories of some. I know we're going to talk about games of the year later. I had some like not so greatest games of the year. And some of them were like disappointing. A Garden Story immediately comes to mind as a game that really disappointed me this year. Another one that came up was The Medium. That was one of the initial much ballyhooed games coming out for the new Xbox. And when that one hit, it's weird because it's a good game. I enjoyed my time in the game, but it wasn't what I thought it was. So it's probably one of the better games I played this year, but also a little bit one of the more disappointing games that I played this year. Gears Tactics is a notable memory burn mark in my brain of a game that started off so well and had so much potential, and I liked it so much more than XCOM 2. And then it just got so repetitive and made the last 20 hours just agonizing, and getting through that one. And of course, I'll never forget Narita Boy, beautiful looking retro style game. Started playing through it, and I just found it to be constantly hand-holding you, telling you where to go, not telling you how to get there. Didn't really enjoy it, said so on Twitter, and the guy who made the game wrote me, and he could not have been cooler about it. And he kind of like, made fun of it a little bit. And so I ended up going back and playing through the game after that and beating the game.
Yep.
And I did a 30-second review on that one. But that was pretty fun when it's weird to think if you go on Twitter and you just say, I don't like something, that those people might write you.
Yeah.
I like to shit on Hulu a lot because I don't like the way they sell their adless service, and then you get ads constantly. And I'll shit on them and say Hulu is the worst digital streaming service, and they'll say ads are only for select content and all that. It's like, I know, but like no other services give me ads, and then you have the ad-free version and I get nothing but ads. Like it's like, stop. But it is weird that they, especially more and more of these indie games, the developers are there and they're listening. So be careful if you shit on something. Be nice. I'm always nice. I give fair criticisms, and I hope that they get heard. And you got to give indie developers, they need feedback, even if it's bad. Don't be unfair. Don't send death threats. But give honest critiques of their game, because you know what, they're making another game and they need to know. I didn't enjoy Narita Boy in the end, but it was great that he got the critique.
Finished.
So yeah. So, I'm a dad who finishes, Drew. That's what I do.
Just like I finished Wild Hearts this year, John.
You have not finished that game. You have not finished it.
I finished it. I played every level. I rolled credits.
That's
finished
nothing. A 3-year-old can beat the game.
You know what game you best? First of all, that's not true. Some of those levels are hard. You know that. Second of all, you know what game you did not finish, John?
What?
Ages of Mages.
All right.
Or Mana Spark. So
okay.
You're just mean. You're mean to me.
Drew, I'm making you an offer right now.
Okay.
If you go through, and let's say this, if you get gold on half of the Sayonara Wild Heart levels, I will buy Ages of Mages.
Wow.
And I will play through Ages of Mages if you then promise to get gold on every other level.
That seems like such a high different level. I already had to go out and buy this with my own money. I then had to play it with my own money
with
my own time. I already had to suffer through it. You won't even give Ages of Mages a blink of an eye.
Dude, what did I just say? First of all, you already own Sayonara.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, I'm going to go out and
Oh.
buy. I'm going to spend money on Ages of Mages and
Ages
play
of Mages
through
for
it.
you. I'll buy it for you.
I don't want your money. I got it.
I don't want your Wild Hearts garbage that I already played.
I don't need
played it a second time.
I don't need your dirty submarine money.
Why do I have to play a game twice for you to play a game once?
Because you haven't played it once.
That's bullshit. The credits ran. I beat the game. It took me hours. I remember playing it.
It didn't take you hours. It took you hour.
I beat it at my daughter's gymnastics class. I remember. I have a vivid memory of waiting for my daughter, hour and a half class.
Wording, Drew. Wording.
Well,
you have not experienced Sayonara Wild Hearts. You can
more than experienced
a
it.
5-year-old. You could give the game to Evan. I love you, Evan. You could give the game to Evan, and he could beat the game in an hour and a half.
I don't believe that's true.
It's impossible not to beat the game.
Well,
if you die a few times in a section, they'll actually say, "We'll advance you."
That's true. That is true.
So, the challenge is getting the golds. The challenge is hitting that zen.
You know what?
Maybe
I just need to log in. Maybe I already have a few. Or gold.
I don't think you do. I don't think you do. It's hard to get a gold on the first try. You kind of got to get a feel for the music and the movement of the level.
Oh my god! This sounds miserable. There's no fucking way. I'm sorry, folks. I let you all down. I know we all want John to play. I just don't think I have it in me to play this game a second time, and not just play it. I have to actually be good at it. I don't have that in me.
Then I'm not playing Ages of Mages.
You know what it is? I'm going to convince Amy to play it, and I'm going to have her get the golds.
Have her do it.
And then I'll just show you this. See, all I need to do is show you half, and then I never have to play it again. I'll just tell you I will.
Amy is a sail away from me getting her Life is Strange. So
she's close. She's close. She almost got it the other day. She's playing some other game. I don't know what it's called. I don't know. I have no idea what it's called.
Close? What does that mean? Like she's playing another game that's close?
No. That's irrelevant. I was trying to sell it on her. And she's like, oh, maybe. I don't really understand it. She watched the trailer, so I don't really get it. I said, just play it. I don't really get it either, but John swears by it.
Yeah, I think it'll go on sale fairly soon because it's been out for a bit.
I'll add it to my list.
Yeah. All right.
Anyways, let's move on.
Number 2.
All right, John. We are entering our Game of the Year categories. We have 2 different categories, right? So the first one that we're going to do here is games that we played in 2021, but games that did not come out in 2021. So maybe some back catalog games that we played, things along that line, things that we went back and revisited. And then our number 1 topic this week will be games that came out this year. So we'll go back and forth. We both start with our number 5 and we'll go on. So do you want to go first or want me to?
I'll go first. We can snake our way up or we can take turns, whatever. All right. So games that we played in 2021. This was a game that I wanted to play for a little while before I got to it, got on sale. Telling Lies. This is by Sam Barlow. It's published by Annapurna of Sayonara Wild Hearts fame. And if you played Her Story, I think Her Story came out in 2017 or 2018. It was one of those Game of the Years. Not everywhere, but it's such an interesting play style that you have not seen anywhere else. Telling Lies is basically you have access to random clips of video footage that you search using keywords. In Telling Lies, it goes based on dialogue. So if you put in the word, be, I could not have picked the worst example, Drew. All right. If you put in the word murder, it'll show you all the clips that have the word murder mentioned in them, but not all of them, just like the top 5.
Okay.
And then you can play through the clips. These clips could be in the beginning of sequences, the end of sequences. You just don't know. You just go through and you put in words and you watch clips. You start to get a feel for the story. maybe somebody's talking about something and you want to know more, so you put a different word in, and then you get this clip that sort of bridges the gap between these two other clips, and you're like, oh, I understand what's happening now, or I know who this person is, or they're a liar. Telling Lies was an advancement over Her Story. Her Story had basically, I think, just one woman. She had different personalities. Telling Lies has at least 4, 5, 6 different people, much better production, and more of a story around why you're doing this search than Her Story did. I really enjoyed it. I don't know anybody who plays these games, but like I said, Her Story was a game of the year. Her Story was a game of the year. It's on iPad, I think, pretty cheap. But yeah, Telling Lies was fantastic. Multiple endings. I really loved it. So I think it came out in 2019.
Okay.
So I'm always looking forward to see what's coming next from Sam Barlow.
Yeah, absolutely. My number 5 is a very popular series that I've never played before, John. And this is when I first played with my kids, Pokemon Let's Go.
Woo!
It was surprisingly very very fun, very addicting. We played through the whole game, and then we decided to go back and try to fill up Pokédex. We tried to collect a lot of shinies. We had a blast doing it. Again, it introduced me to the world of Pokemon, and they did it in an easy and I think fun way. And now since I've been playing Pearl, and I love thinking back now on that one because I don't really have anything to compare it to. I loved the how you could see the Pokemon in the wild.
Yeah.
And you could, the flicking of the Joy-Con to catch the ball. It maybe it get annoying, but it also at the same time added a different mechanic, right? Of a little bit of a skill to collect that Pokemon. And it was fun. It was great. We had an absolute blast. My kids kind of got a little obsession with Pokemon, and now they watch the old school show. Evan is a huge fan of it, which I like watching it. We watch some of the old movies, and it's they know the characters and the Pokemon. It's great. It introduced us into something that was fun. I mean, I'm not going to be a diehard Pokemon fan by any means, but we now in this household know what it is, and we enjoy it.
Exactly. Quick question on some Let's Go. You don't battle the Pokemon in the wild. You like throw Pokeballs.
Correct. You just catch them.
In the regular games, you battle them, and you were kind of playing through the recent one with Diamond and Pearl.
Yes.
Which style did you like better?
Let's Go.
Okay.
Yep, a lot better. And also because you could see which Pokemon you're trying to catch a little bit easier.
Right. Yeah. If you're looking for a particular one, I kind of like the surprise of, and you're like, ooh, who's it going to be? But I also like seeing them in advance and going, I need that guy, and trying to run to them.
Yep. Agreed.
Cool. All right. Number 4. This is a little surprising to me, but it tells you the quality of games that I played in 2021.
Oh,
My number 4 game of the year in 2021 that did not come out in 2021, Horizon Zero Dawn.
Wow.
I'm kind of surprised, actually. I did not enjoy this game as much as I expected to when I played it not too long ago. In fact, I think I played it a couple months ago. I did not enjoy it as much as I expected to, but I also saw the kind of game it is, that sort of Witcher open world questing type game.
Mm-hmm.
And I was kind of rushing through it because I had borrowed the PS4 from my son, who was on a 2-week trip. So I didn't have unlimited time to play. So I felt kind of hurried. There was a lot of parts of the game felt like repetitive to me. But I did like the style of the world. I had some trouble with it because I think if you just try to main quest it, you just won't be very powerful. I always felt very underpowered. And you have to be very precise with the bow on these mechanical animals. And there's a lot of them in the game, which also felt like you were either fighting these mechanical animals or you were fighting like very dull human beings, which really kind of kept me from really loving the game. But I see it now as a game. If this game was on Xbox, I would buy it and just try to 100% the thing, because I would just have it on my Xbox. I would like to play through it someday. I'd like to play the sequel. So even though it was not my favorite game and maybe it underwhelmed a little bit, it's still my number 4 for 2021.
Nice. That's It's a good one. It's always good when it has a little story involved too, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So my number 4 of not in 2021 is a game. I thought it was in between games. I really needed something. I wasn't sure. I popped up that it was on sale. This is a game that is a very throwback to maybe Zelda Link to the Past. And I'm talking about Blossom Tales.
I knew it.
This game was just so much fun. Exploring the world, the gameplay, the game style, all that good stuff. It's just it's a very well done game. And I think the first one was called the Sleeping King. And then now the second one has I don't know if it has a release date yet, does it, John?
I don't know if it has a release date. I think they showed it. It came up during the Game Awards, I thought.
Oh, did it? Like I said, I didn't watch all the Game Awards. But...
I just watched something that I just saw it, and I was like, oh, yeah, I forgot there's a sequel. Maybe it wasn't the Game Awards, but I just saw it last night.
Okay. But looking forward to this one. It's a great game. If you've never played it, I'd say definitely add it to your watch list. If it goes on sale, pick it up. It's not a long game, maybe less than 10 hours, I think, right? If I remember correctly.
Yeah, it's pretty short, yeah.
But it's a replica of, again, Link to the Past, and it's fun.
Cool. All right, my number 3 is a game that you and I played together, I think in perfect sync. I actually owned this game for quite a while and never really got to it. Rogue Legacy. A friend of mine had played it a long time ago and really liked it, and it was roguelike, and I'm really into roguelikes. And I'm telling you, I had it in shrink wrap because I bought it from Limited Run Games when it came out. Never played it, and then you and I kind of played it together, and we just had an absolute blast. Kind of gives me like those Loop Hero vibes where you just love doing runs, and if you do a run, you're trying to beat a boss, you're trying to accomplish something, but you don't have to. You can just kind of play deep into the game and feel like you did something and move on. Absolutely enjoyed it. The real trick to Rogue Legacy is that you have a new character every time you play. And I think you had a choice between a few different characters, but they all had these little handicaps. And that was the fun part about the game is you would pick a character that maybe had poor vision, or you had a character that some of the characters actually were stronger than usual, but slow. And some were really tiny, but fast, or had higher health meters. And it was just so fun to try different characters. And man, when you're playing a character that can't see well and you're like half your screen is like out of focus, it's hilarious. They had characters that were colorblind, so you're playing the game in black and white. Just had a total blast with that game. And I don't know if I'll go back to it, but there is a Rogue Legacy 2 that I think, if I remember right, is not on Switch or
it's not. No.
Okay, but it will be. Yep. I'm sure it will be.
Well, it's old. It came out. Oh, no, it just came out 2020, about a year ago. But I forgot about this game. I'm not going to lie. It may have made my list, Sean. This was a fun and challenging, but not challenging game.
Yeah. I got to think Rogue Legacy 2 will end up on Switch. It's going to end up.
How it did, yeah.
And I'll be there day one. I'll be ready.
I'll be ready.
Yeah.
All right. That's a great one here. My next one is a little tricky because technically the game came out the game came out prior to 2021, but DLC came out in 2021, like in February, but I'm counting it anyway. And it is Moving Out, Movers in Paradise. The DLC came out, I think, early February, but man, me and my wife just bond over this game. There's something about it that we like deep fun laughing with it, yelling at each other, working together. Great co-op game. It's just fun. and this one has a good little storyline, and it's fantastic. We had so much fun playing this game. So Moving Out, Movers in Paradise, my number 3.
Nice. I wish I could get my family to play that. We tried. We did 4-player, and they didn't really like it. Then I played a little bit on Game Pass with Cedric, 2-player. We got much further in the game, but it just never hooked us the way Overcooked did. All right. My number 2 is when the games get really good.
Me too.
This was a game that I passed by on Game Pass so many times. It has one of the most boring cover arts I'd ever seen. And I remember looking at it going, who would ever play that game? And then there was someone on Twitter, I think it was Lena, and they said they had like loved this game so much. And I was like, oh. And then I looked, I was like, oh, you know what? I might give it a shot. I watched the trailer. I was like, I might give it a shot. And I absolutely loved it. And I'm talking about A Plague Tale: Innocence. And I played this game, absolutely love this game. It's the perfect game that combines a great little story, characters, great voice acting, and characters that have real deep emotional connections. Honestly, it's a game I wouldn't mind really playing through again and trying to like 100%. But I had such a great time, and like right after I played that is when they announced that there was a sequel coming, and that the first game was coming to Switch on the cloud. And I couldn't rave about it enough. It's basically a perfect game. I know I did a 30-second review. I think I gave it a 9.5 or a 10. I think it was a 9.5. It's as close to perfect as a game gets. It's just the value of it depends on if it's the kind of game you like. But man, what a great, fantastic game. I can't wait for the sequel. Just, you can't say anything bad about that. If you have the chance to play it, I don't think it's on Game Pass anymore. It might be. It's just a must play. It's so good. If you see it go on sale, even if it's a cloud version, it's just so good. Absolutely love it.
Nice. My number 2 is I needed a game when I was going on travel this year, and it was something that was long overdue. Ori and the Blind Forest.
Woo!
I mean, I still have yet to play the second one. I wanted to take a little bit break between it. I was going to maybe pick it up, I said, around the holidays, so we'll see. Or maybe I kind of asked for it for the holidays too, so we'll see if I get it. But I mean, from the story to the music to the graphics, everything about it just ties in together. And it does have that Metroidvania. I mean, it is. And I'll be honest, I hate Metroidvania type games. But it's funny because my number 1 is similar to one as well. But yeah, it's just everything about it. If you've never experienced it, and it is in a weird way an experience, it's just you got to give it a go. It's just the way it's produced, I guess I want to say. It's fantastic.
It had a lot of hype, and I remember after like playing it for a couple hours, I was like, "Is this game really that great?" And then it's sort of there's a moment where it just clicks, and the whole game is so intense. Agreed. So good, such a great game. I really want to play that game again.
Yep.
All right. My number 1, and I'm kind of going to cheat a little bit. My number 1 is actually 3 games? 4 games?
Doesn't count.
4 games at once? And it's amazing that it only started this year. Life is Strange. It's weird that I played Life is Strange in January of 2021. And
so
since then,
the first time you introduced yourself to it?
Yeah, I might have played chapter 1 of Life is Strange in 2020 on PlayStation. Yeah. And then it was on sale for $5 on Xbox. I think while my brother-in-law was over looking through the Xbox shop, and I was like, "Oh, that's $5. Grab it." I didn't even know it was on here.
Yep.
And then I started playing it in January. And since then, I've played the prequel, Before the Storm. I've played Life is Strange 2. I've played Life is Strange through 3 times. I've played Life is Strange 2 like 2.5 times. I've played Before the Storm only the 1 time. Captain Spirit I played through 1 time. Just like, oh my God. And it's Life is Strange is my favorite game of all time now. I don't think it'll ever be passed by anything. The deep emotional connection
blows my mind. All the games that you play,
the connection you get in that game, the whole game is emotional. I was watching $2 Hero play Life is Strange True Colors today, and even though I've played through that game twice, I was watching him for like 2.5 hours, just waiting for the next big scene to see his reaction to it and all that stuff. It's like these games hit at such an emotional level you get from no other game. Like you can play Final Fantasy VII and oh my gosh, Cloud die, or not Cloud, the whatever her name is dies. What a great moment, a great emotional moment. Just like think of that the entire time you're playing a game. There's always these emotional things going on every single scene. But yeah, it's amazing that I only started playing that in 2021. But yeah, I mean, easily my game of the year.
Well, no shocker there.
No shocker.
And I'll allow it. I'll allow the series. It's like saying, pick your favorite Lord of the Rings movie. You can't. It's one. So
I had to do it because otherwise my top 3 would be Life is Strange games.
Yeah, nobody wants that.
Nobody wants that.
So, my number 1 game is a game I had no intention to playing, but I always one of those, like you see it on the eShop, like, oh, that seems interesting. And it was another game that my wife really wanted to play, but of course, on Ages of Mages. No, Ages of Mages did not make the list. Anyways, it was a game my wife really wanted to play, so we decided to play it together. And that is Monster Boy and the Cursed Kingdom.
Wow, that's the number 1.
That is the number 1. There was just so much fun with the game, and I said again, it's kind of a Metroidvania game, only in the sense where if you want to go back to get additional items, but not story. Right, so you don't have to go back to other areas to progress in the story, but if you want to go back to bomb a wall type concept to get an unlockable of some sort or a treasure, you can. So it's Metroidvania in that way, but it's not, because you don't have to go back to progress through the story. But this game is unexpected. Again, it's a simple concept of you're a boy. There's this cursed bad guy essentially that has a wand that can turn you into monsters, or animals rather, and each animal that you get turned into gives you different abilities that a different play style of the game. It graphically looks amazing, colorful, cartoonish art style. The music super catchy. If you did ever play the original on Sega, it has a lot of little throwbacks, including I don't want to spoil it, because it really is a cool throwback if you played both. But overall, the game really caught me off guard. It was a ton of fun. It was a great length, like 25 to 30 hours me and my wife put into it, and that included doing a lot of the unlockables. We didn't 100% it, but we did a lot of it. And it's not a co-op game. We would just take turns playing it.
Mm-hmm.
But it was one of those, we did look up a few things just to help us, because there's some tricky parts. It's a great platformer, side-scrolling, hack and slash game. It was fantastic. I was so surprised by how good it was. So, Monster Boy.
Nice. I really got to play it. I'm waiting for more time to do it. I own it, but it sounds like a game I want to try to 100%. So
it's definitely a game that you can. It's fun to 100%. I will say. Yep. You might have to look some things up, because some stuff is just, again, crazy to find. But because you play the first level, and then it's like 10 hours later, you get an item that you might have to go back to that area. You don't remember.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's one of those, but it's still a lot of fun.
Cool.
Yep. That's
awesome.
it.
That was a fun list, because you really don't know what's going to be on a list like that.
You have
like
no
the
idea.
2021 list, you can guess games. We've talked about them and all that. Yep. But that one's just like, man, that could be anything, and you don't know what people have played. So that was fun.
Agreed.
Are we ready now for the 2021?
I am ready.
Games of the year.
And number 1.
Gonna miss that countdown, Drew.
Number 1. Hey, you never know. Can't say never. So anyways, this is it, folks. Game of the year. We're going to go same concept, our top 5 of games that were released in 2021. And now remember, folks, this isn't necessarily like the top 5 best quality game. This is our list, right? This is what John and I either, a memory or experience the way we played the game, but it's, in combination of a quality game that came out this calendar year. John, you want me to lead this one off, or you want to go?
Why don't you lead this one off?
All right, I'll lead this one off. So this one here, number 5, was a game that again kind of caught me off guard. And I think this one really made my list because of an experience with my family. Once again, it was I would say out of the entire game, the other three people in my house probably played a lot more hours than I did, but I watched a lot of them with it. And this was Miitopia, John. Miitopia
What?
so thrown me off watching my kids and even my wife get into this game. This was, again, my kids playing during the day and my wife going back in 100% in previous levels at night. It was like the addition of this household, and like the Professor Dark Lord Poopy Pants was the bad guy. And it was just like, it was awesome. It was clever. I mean, was it repetitive? Sure. But just like any one of these exploring games, like you're interested to see what the next world is going to look like. You know, what's the next, it's upgrade, what's the next costume, what's the next weapon. It was just, we've never played it, we didn't experience it. It was just it was fun, it was unique, it was quirky, it was very original in a weird way. We enjoyed it. It was fun.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know what's funny about repetition is kids are usually immune to that sort of thing, so it's almost like perfect.
It's very true. Well, they like it, right? Because they know it now, they're familiar with it.
Right. Exactly. Cool. Before I give my number 5, I just have one honorable mention here, and it's
of course
It Takes Two, because that did win the Game of the Year for the Game Awards, and Michelle and I are going to play that over Christmas break. Actually, really looking forward to playing that over Christmas break, and that is going to be this year. So I give it an honorable mention because I anticipate it's going to be a game that I really enjoy. But I did not play it, so that's why I'm just mentioning it now.
So you gave it an honorable mention that you have not played yet.
I have a feeling this could end up being on top 5, so I just
should
wanted to
you give
make
an
it.
honorable mention for the last top 5 list of Ages of Mages? Because it
Depends.
most likely could be on your list.
And depends if you're golden sayonara.
Oh my god, I can't wait. I'm going to do it, and then I'm going to make you play through a whole play. Will you play through the game with all 4 wizards?
I can't guarantee that.
All
right, let's get back to this
I haven't even done that. Okay.
This one will come as a surprise. Toem.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I was really interested in this game the moment I saw it, I think on one of the indie directs. And I was really hyped up for it. I don't know why. And it's a game about taking pictures. You have a camera. You take pictures of stuff. And generally it's like, what do they call it? Like a scavenger hunt, right? You get a list of sort of things you're looking for, and you find them in the world and you take a picture. And sometimes they're out in the open. And then sometimes they're a little bit hidden. Sometimes you have to go around a corner. Sometimes it's a particular action that's going on. You have to wait for a particular moment. It's kind of like a Pokemon Snap. But the art style is so pretty. It's kind of a grayscale game, but it really has a great art direction to it. Once you do a certain amount of pictures, you can advance to the next area. So it's sort of that Mario Odyssey vibe to it.
Okay.
And when I rolled credits on it, I was like, I ain't done with this, man. I went and tried to get every single achievement I could in the game, got every picture I could take. I didn't 100% it, because I played it right at launch, and there was some things I had no idea what to do, and there was nowhere to get help. But I really, really enjoyed it. It's a gem of a game. Absolutely would recommend it. It's a little indie that's just, it looks so good. It's so polished, so much fun, and it's everything I love about gaming, man. Those achievements and just really going beyond just what you need to do to beat a game. Really enjoyed it. So Toem, that's TOEM, all capital letters.
Oh, did not expect that. All right, my number 4 here is an all-time classic that was remade for this year, and it was they did such a great job at this remake, and I'm going with Ghosts and Goblins Resurrection. John.
Ooh,
this game was so well made. I loved it. They not only recreated the original game to the T, they did it graphically amazing. The controls felt such like the originals, but then they added this whole new technique of like a roguelike, right? Where you had this tree and you had these collectibles, and you could collect them and then also go upgrade the tree so it could give you these new perks, make the game a little bit more interesting and different. It was great. I think they just did a great job at it. I was a little thrown off, and we all love Ghosts and Goblins, and to see the resurrection, it was I just thought it was well done. I really enjoyed it. It was a good throwback.
I really did enjoy it too. I thought I would play the game longer and try to do all the paths and everything, and I didn't. But that's definitely a candidate to go back to that.
Yeah, agreed. Agreed. I did not do all of it as well, but it was a lot of content for a pretty straightforward old game, right?
Right.
Because if you think about the original game, it's not a lot of content. It was just very difficult.
Right.
So if you were good at it, you could beat it fairly, an hour maybe.
Oh, I don't know about that. I mean, you could, but probably not the first time you're playing it.
No. I'm saying if you played it a lot and you were good at it, maybe an hour to 2 hours.
Oh, maybe even less. Yeah. But it takes a lot of time to get to that point.
Oh, I agree with you there.
All right. That was 4.
That was 4.
All right. Here's my number 4. This was a surprise. And this is one of those times where Game Pass, the value of Game Pass is that you will try games that you never would have purchased. Something a little more daring, and I just want to try it, and I can try it for free. Let me give it a go. And I've played a lot of games where I tried them on Game Pass and I'm like, this is not for me, and I just delete it. But this one is number 4 in my games of the year this year, 12 minutes.
Wow.
12 minutes is sort of a how do you describe it? It's a murder mystery. Not really a murder mystery, but murderish mystery-ish. Where you play this 12-minute segment of time, roughly. It is kind of real time, but you are in a time loop, and there's a situation that's happening. I won't say anything about it. And you are trying to get this whole scenario under control. And playing, when you die, the time loop starts again. So you have knowledge. And then you can use that knowledge that you bring in, and your player has that knowledge you bring in to make the next loop better. And then you'll use that to get more knowledge and more knowledge. And man, like my wife and I played through this one. We had so much. This is a great couples game. We had so much fun having things occur and then just like going back and forth between us saying, what should we do on the next time loop? So, maybe we're like, okay, here's what we're going to do. We know that this thing is in this room. So when we start, we're going to go right to that room. And then we're going to do this with it and then go to the other room. And then just figuring out what are we going to do next. You might have 3 or 4 loops where you keep having the same result and you're stuck. You're like, what do we do? And you start thinking outside the box. What can I do completely differently? I remember Nick and I talked about this one, and he said, yeah, I just went in the closet as soon as the game started. And I just sat in there the entire time, and he got like a whole ending with a whole achievement. And I was like, oh my God, I never thought to just go into the closet immediately and just stand there. I still want to play through that scenario. So yeah, we had a total blast with this. And every time you make progress, it just feels so good. You're like, oh, and you learn a little bit more about this story. It's one of the most fascinating games I've ever played. It's on Switch now. It came out this past week on Switch. Some people hated it. It just depends on what kind of games you like. I know Jesse tried it and he had a few loops where he kept getting the same result and he got frustrated. It's a game that definitely you could use a little bit of patience, but it's just about thinking your way through. Try something crazy. If you're having trouble, just do something nuts, and see what happens. So much fun. It's a game I wish I could go through again without any knowledge. But yeah, that's my number 4 game of the year. For a while, it might have been number 1, but
wow.
I had a whole lot of fun. If they put this out physical on Switch, I might actually pick it up, give it another go. But yeah, nice. Great time.
My number 3, I was a little late to the game here on this one, John, but there was a part of me that always wanted to play it. I think I was just too busy at the time. And of course, that is Monster Hunter Rise.
Woo!
The game is also just it's so polished, right? I mean, they've now done this a few times. Big publisher, Capcom, right? Is it?
Yes.
And it's just great. It's one of those. It's not obviously like a hack and slash, but it is a hack and slash. It's so makes you feel rewarding, but you don't feel overpowered. You just it's a great balance of a game. There's so many things to do with side quests and upgrades and the mercenaries, and there's
Yes.
so many other things that you can do. If you want to focus on like one or two things, you can, and if you want to focus on online quests, you can. If you solo, like I said, the mercenaries. If you want to upgrade your characters and armor, go find collectibles and certain plants and drops. There's just you could go down a rabbit hole of just one thing when there's multiple things. So you really play the game the way you want to play it, which I like. And it's great. It's a lot of fun to discover new monsters, and the maps are really fun to explore. Perfect size, not too big, not too small. And yeah, Monster Hunter Rise. I'm looking forward to the expansions.
What a comeback on the year, right? Just right at the end, just boom.
Right at the end. Yep.
My number 3 is Monster Hunter Rise as well.
Look at that. And we don't know each other's top 5, folks. We don't want to blind here.
And the way I come to it is a little different than you. I did play it at launch. My good friend Dylan, who actually has been on the show, he's a big Monster Hunter fan, and I've always tried to get into it. But yeah, Monster Hunter Rise, it's going to be on the Switch. So let's give it a shot. I got into it, and I stuck to it, and I played it to the credits. And I was like, oh, that was kind of fun. But I kind of felt like fighting the monsters was getting a little boring after that.
Yep.
I played it for a little bit after. I did a little bit of multiplayer. I know I played a little bit with Sam. I played a little bit with Fartsy. And then I just moved on to something else. I was like, I rolled credits. I did well. And then it wasn't until like a couple months ago, I guess, I started to just play it again just to, I had nothing else to really play, and I was like, let me just get into Monster Hunter again. And man, I was just addicted to the freaking game. I ended up getting through all of the extra content that they've been adding throughout the year, April, May. I did every single quest. I made sure to get everything checkmarked. Every side quest I've unlocked, every camp. I've done everything in the game that you can possibly sort of accomplish. And even now, I think it's a great testament to the game is even if you've done everything, you can always find something new to do. When I play with you now, I will use a different weapon. I use the greatsword. I'm trying to learn that better. So I want to play some of those lower ranked monsters that you were playing, last week, and learn a new weapon. Or I want to try to craft an ice weapon or something like that. There's always something you can set yourself as a goal to do. I fought the Chameleos many, many times over to try to get gems and stuff off of it. There's just always a little goal you can give yourself to do, and you go do it. And, we're going to get this DLC. I thought it was spring, but it's summer. I can't wait for the summer, but I know in between now, I haven't played in a week and a half, but I know between now and summer, I really want to get good at maybe 1 or 2 or 3 new weapons. Just so much fun. So the next time there's a little dead period, I'll jump back into it.
Yeah, you got to level me up. That's what I need at this. I beat the game at this point now. I just need the grind. So if you want to help me grind, I'm ready.
We got to get back to the hunt.
I do have to get back to the hunt. All right. Moving on to my number 2. Number 2 here is also it's a new game, but it's a remake of a lot of nostalgia. A lot of memories came back, and I'm talking about Mario Party Superstars. Ooh. This game was just fantastically done. Anybody that loves the Mario Party franchise knows exactly what I'm talking about. They just killed it. They knocked it out of the park with the original maps. They picked the best of the best mini games. They remade them to make them look fantastic. So many customizable settings for kids or adults or whatever you want for difficulties. It's great. I'll go on the record to say we will see DLC for this game. I want to say soon.
Hopefully.
I have to imagine that they might throw in a map or two. I don't know if we'll see characters, but maybe a character or two. I think we'll at least see a map or two. I'd be happy if they just added a couple maps, because let's be honest, the maps are what sometimes you want to play more of. There are so many mini games. You can go play 5 whole games and see different mini games throughout it. So that one, I think we just need a couple more maps. We'll make it a little bit more fun. But yeah, Mario Party Superstars, they knocked it out of the park. Even the online play works well. They added every feature you could think of, whether it's changing the number of turns in the middle of a game to saving it online with multiple friends so you can go back and revisit. Just every angle of Mario Party that you love, they thought of. It's just so well done.
I still haven't gotten this game. So weird, but I think in the future I will. Cool.
All right, what do you got? Number 2.
Number 2 has to be Life is Strange: True Colors. This one came out in September. Fully mocapped, always fully voice acted, and the best part is it is completely done by a company that is about 25 minutes north of me.
That's cool.
It's a company I want to go visit their parking lot someday. And it's takes place in a fictional mountain town that everybody who lives in Colorado has seen before. We all know these little mountain towns.
Different pieces of it,
Yep. Just a perfectly paced, wonderful game with so many great moments. I played through it twice. The first time was it was like a 30 frame per second. It was like on launch day, and then they actually upgraded it a couple weeks later, and I was able to play through that. I think I played through that like 3 weeks ago or so. And just a beautiful game, so well done. It's definitely a game you could play through twice, just make different major decisions. The one knock on it to me felt like gameplay wise, it never holds up to the first game. The first game had so many good gameplay mechanics that none of the other games ever had. This one came close, but it's still not quite there. The ability to basically read people's minds, and then when you gain information through that, you can then use that to have different conversations with other people, which is really fun because it's easy to miss that you can read somebody's mind and then bring up a topic with them.
Yeah.
But just a fantastic, perfect game. Almost perfect as you can get. And like I said, I still enjoy watching people play it. And I love that it's on Switch. I know Justin's playing it. Just seeing a whole new audience kind of come into this game. And hey, if you have any questions, just ask me, man. I know this game like the back of my hand.
Do you think it has something to do with the Colorado aspect of it? That you just know so well that it makes you a little bit more attached or emotional to it?
Oh, no. They could have put it anywhere. I was going to probably love it. But man, I'm telling you, like, if you know what Rocky Mountain Chocolate Factory looks like, I mean, that's what the record store looks like. Every little mountain town has a little ice cream shop. They have that here. It's just it's incredible. Just the scenery and all that stuff. So
nice.
So much so, in fact, that I'm going to be on the All N podcast this week with Eric and Seth, because they're going to be talking about Life is Strange.
Nice.
And they got the idea that I was a big fan of Life is Strange.
I'm not sure where they got that from.
Yeah, so I look forward to overwhelming them with information. But Seth has played. I think he's played all the games. So, and he was loving True Colors as I was watching him today. So, yep, that's my number 2.
Nice. All right, the big moment. What is the best favorite video game of the year, John?
This is so predictable for both of us right now.
I know. And it's not even, I can't even talk around it. I mean, I'm going to be blunt. Personally, I don't think 2021 was a great year. Maybe for me personally, maybe as a whole for other people it was. When I went through my list, I was like, I feel like I really had to scrape kind of the bottom of the barrel for some of the games. And there was a couple that, don't get me wrong, deserve to be there. But if you asked me for the top 10 list of games this year, man, it wouldn't have been good. I mean, especially for me. I mean, I only play Nintendo, right? So it's hard. It's hard to say, just Nintendo, my top 10. It would be difficult. But anyways, there's no secret here, folks. My number 1 game, Mario Golf Super Rush.
What? Whoa, shocking.
It's funny because is it the best Mario Golf game out there? I don't know. That's a hard one. Mario Golf Toadstool Tour for the GameCube might be my favorite one. It has been like a year or two since I played it, and now that I've played so much of Super Rush. But the game, I think, it just is so much fun. It's just, I think that as simple as that. It's just so much fun. All the DLC we got quite a bit if you look back at it, right? What do we got? We got 5 courses.
Mm-hmm.
So they
a lot.
they pretty much doubled the number of courses. Along with 5 courses, we got what? We got like 2, we got 4, I think 5 characters as well.
We got Ninja. We got Koopa, Wiggler, Shy Guy.
And then we got I think we got 5 because we got 5. Who did we get with who came out with the New Dawn City? Shy Guy? No.
I don't
know. I'm not going to pretend that I should know. It's my number one game.
I'll try to look it up, yeah.
But my point is, we got a ton of the DLC. Some of the last few courses were fantastic. The online play is pretty flawless, in my opinion. We played the shit out of this game in the Mario Golf League. It's just, it's a great, fun sports game. They killed it. The story mode, never mind the story mode. People can complain about it, but the story mode was great.
Was it?
I liked it. I think it teaches you the game quite a bit. I think it's fun walking around in little towns and having a little mission and going in the clubhouse. And I thought it was great. What do you want out of a golf story mode game?
I remember Mario Tennis Aces, their story mode wasn't so hot. And then we thought, okay, their Camelot's going to fix it for this one. And then it just felt like, it was kind of boring.
I don't know. I think there could have been a little bit more side missions and more fun stuff like that. I think, they had like the 1 or 2 target golfs, but like that was it. It was kind of random at the driving range and stuff. I just think a little bit more. But like I said, is the game perfect? No. But it's Mario Golf, and I me and golf, I have to go with it.
You and golf, man. I agree. With Toadette, I think was the 5th.
Oh, you're right. Toadette.
Yeah. Yeah. I really did enjoy it. And I'm not even a golf person.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't make my list, but we did the tournament was fun, and I still just playing with you has been fun, and it still comes out, and it's not one of those games where you. Like, if I haven't played it in 3 months, I can still go in and play it. It's not like, I'm out of this. If you don't play Monster Hunter for 3 months, you will be like, Braw.
Yeah. Yep, I hear you.
So it's very approachable.
Yep, agreed.
Very cool.
All right, John, what is it?
My number 1 game of the year, very easily, Metroid Dread. This is like a perfect example of a game that lived up to the hype. And you knew it was going to be good when Nintendo announced it. First of all, the way they announced it was amazing. I think it was during E3, and they talked about Metroid Prime 4, and people were very excited to hear about Metroid Prime 4. And then like, oh, we don't have anything, but we have something else for you. And everyone was like, and then it was this 2D Metroid, a new game. And then when they basically show not only how great it is, and then call it Metroid Dread, which was a game that was known. It was a project that was known. Yep. And my God, the design looks so good. Reminded me of Breath of the Wild when we saw Link and he's wearing blue. And it's like, oh, here's Samus and she's wearing white and blue. Like, wow.
Yeah.
But they hyped it up almost immediately. They're like, play Metroid Dread in October, And I was like, oh my God, we want to play, but you're not selling it right now. Like, please stop. You're killing me. It was so much fun. And when the game came out, it came out with the OLED, which was absolutely perfect. And man, I remember putting it on the OLED screen for the first time when I turned it on. Just the title screen takes you back to this just moment. And you're just like, oh my God, I can't wait to play this game. Just the title screen. Everything about this game is super hyped. It's almost un-Nintendo-like. Nintendo doesn't oftentimes will kind of sanitize things a bit. And then the way they tell the story in the beginning, and then the way you just move through the world and the gameplay. And as always, when you get towards the end of Metroid games, you just feel so powerful. The boss fights had this perfect level of challenge without being frustrating. The last boss was particularly hard. I think it might have taken me a couple hours to beat. But man, everything about this game is perfect. So many people replayed it too. It shows you like immediately upon finishing it, people replaying it over and over and over and over. James was replaying it. My friend Ryan's replaying it. Everybody. Just so good. And it's so good, it beat out a Life is Strange game for Game of the Year. That's all you need to know. And I've only played it once, and I'm dying to play it again. There's just been so much. But some of my favorite months of the year are January and February, when releases tend to get, like, you don't really see a lot of big releases. 2022 is going to be a bit different with games like Elden Ring coming out, but and Pokemon Arceus. But I hope to get back to this in the first like quarter of next year too. Just so much fun. Can't believe you didn't play this game yet.
I won't. I'm not. I have no. I already told you. One, I don't like Metroidvania games, and two, I've never played a Metroid game. Actually, I played Super Metroid. Not gonna lie.
You don't have, but you don't have to have played Metroid. It's just it's executed so perfectly.
It doesn't pull me in that series or genre. I can't help it. I mean, hey, you know what, John? I'm never gonna say never, because I did play a Pokemon game this year for the first time.
And you liked it.
Yeah, I didn't hate it. Yeah. I didn't hate it.
I'm not going to bust on you for it, but it's like I can't accentuate enough how good it really is.
I'm not bashing it at any means. It does look like a fantastic game. I'm not going to lie. I just don't have the, I don't know. I just have no incentive to play it, I guess. But anyways, that was a fun little wrap up our games, you know. But what else, Sean? What else we got going on? Anything else?
Not many releases for the rest of the year. Tomorrow, by the time that you have heard this, I guess I usually would put this actually on the list for the last episode, but it wasn't there. Shovel Knight Pocket Dungeon comes out December 13th. So by the time you hear this, it will be available if you want it. I'm waiting for Shovel Knight Dig personally. And then, since I don't know when we're going to come back, because this is our last show of the year, but Banjo-Kazooie is going to be coming to Nintendo's 64 online library in January. That could be January 1st. I don't know. So I'm going to put it here now. I'm telling you right now, I paid my money for the Nintendo 64 online. I'm going to try to play this game.
Do you think we get one a month? Is that the what we're looking at? Seems
to be the trend. It doesn't surprise me, because you know they're charging you for all these licenses, and Banjo-Kazooie is a big one.
To be honest, I mean, even Paper Mario, it's a long game. I mean, I'm going to spend 25 or more hours playing it. You know, that's going to take me a month. You know, while I'm playing other games. You know, so I don't need, if they're big games that you're going to play. I mean, I get you might want to give options, and everyone's going to want to play that game, but I don't know.
Yeah. If they're doing once a month, you know, Paper Mario and Banjo-Kazooie will fit the bill. But after Banjo-Kazooie, what are they going to put, you know?
Mario Golf.
Do you think that you'll see Melee at some point? Smash Brothers? Not Melee.
Oh my God.
Smash Brother. What is it? What do they call it? Just Smash Brothers. Super Smash Brothers.
People would love that.
Yeah.
Imagine you to play online.
Oof, that would be brutal, though. I mean, it's bad enough on a modern game, let alone.
Well, I'm just saying you can
sync it up, but it would be interesting to play Smash Brothers on 64 again, just to see.
It would be very. I agree.
Yeah. It just depends on the games. So I don't know. I don't know how many games we'll ultimately have by.
I don't know either.
When? No idea.
Yep.
But.
And then, John, like you've said, last show of the year, changes are in the air, folks, right? That's all we can really say for now. We're trying to restructure the show in a way to bring, I'd say, the same content, but change it up a little bit. You know, season 2 almost, you could say, of The Dads of the Dark. A little bit more fun, a little bit more on brand with who we are. I think we're just trying to restructure for a better content, better way to display our content. And that's all. I think that's all we can really say, because, to be honest, we don't fully know yet. We're still, I think that's going to give us a little bit of time during our time off. We're going to have a little bit of time to go generate that.
Yeah, maybe a different name.
Maybe a different name.
bit of a rebrand. Definitely a format change. It's kind of funny, when we started the show, we were going to do sort of these like skit things. I'd love to go find a document on what our ideas were. And then we kind of evolved into, we're going to have one main topic, right? We were going to have some chatter, and then what have you been playing? And then one big topic, which became kind of like two big topics. But man, it was hard to come up with a 30-minute topic every other week. So then we went in the direction of having a top 10 that could be smaller topics. But then some weeks, especially in the pandemic times, there's just not a lot of news. Yeah. We struggled to find things to even talk about. And that's why we've gone from top 10s to top 8s to top 5s. And today we're in the top 3. But I think we're going to have a more relaxed, open discussion sort of format that we won't feel hard pressed to follow a countdown, or that we have to have 8 distinct topics, or once we stop talking about a topic, we can't return to it.
Correct. And I think we'll have that same concept, like you just said. Like, we do love the small multiple topics. I don't think that's ever going to go away, but maybe the less structure of it. The guest gauntlet that we kind of recently people loved it. People love it. People want to come on the gauntlet. So we will say the gauntlet will be back. It will be here to stay. Not every episode, of course, but I think that's something we can contribute and continue to develop.
Maybe I can run you through the gauntlet.
We could run each other through the gauntlet. I love the idea of that. Maybe that's our first too.
Like, did you have sex in the toy room?
I might have to save that for the gauntlet, but I think I think we could all say the correct answer to that question is no, because I didn't want COVID, not because I didn't want to have sex in the toy room.
On the air mattress. It would be fun. Seems like it'd be fun.
Would it pop? I don't wanna,
Give it a try. What's the worst that can happen? You got to get a new air mattress?
I mean, do you keep going? Just like let it deflate? I mean, I'm not stopping in the middle.
I feel like the sound would be kind of a buzzkill. Like the little like how do you keep going at that point? I don't know. I mean, maybe that's part of the challenge. But
so we're gonna interesting stuff.
Yeah, we're gonna have another episode later this week. I'm not sure when. We're gonna talk about Loop Hero. But yeah, this is the last episode, and I don't know what date we'll come back. But it'll be sometime after the new year, I guess. I don't know. Maybe January 9th, something like that. January 11th.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
We'll take a break. Oh, I got a dental appointment on the 13th.
Oh, man, you and the doctor's killing it lately.
Freaking dentist. But yeah, it's been a fun year.
It's been a great year.
Really enjoyed it. I love our last episode talking about games of the year. Definitely some surprises. But I'm looking forward to spending a lot of time with the family. I hope everyone enjoys their time these holidays with friends and family as much as you can. And we'll get back to it next year.
Everybody enjoy. Have a great, safe holiday.
Say goodnight, Sadie.
The Dads After Dark show is a part of the Nintendo Dads family of podcasts. You can subscribe to us anywhere podcasts are available, including iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, and Stitcher. Be sure to join us on the Nintendo Dads Discord in the Dads After Dark show channel for some naughty After Dark talk. Follow us on Twitter @NDadsAfterDark. Ask us a question, and we may answer it on the show. That's all for tonight. Good night, Dads. Sweet dreams.